You didn't know high net worth people, ultra high net worth people get free money from banks? You didn't know this yet? They don't get free money. They get money easily because they can pay it back easily. There's no harm to the bank.
No. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's pretty common knowledge. I guess people who are like really not into this stuff wouldn't know. I feel like you knew this stuff. You're just invigorated.
Know it intuitively, but when someone says it, it's like, well, that's exactly how it was like I thought that this is what happened, and now I know for a fact this is how they do it.
Of course, dude. Of course, dude. Yeah. Like the top real estate investors, they'll get money from banks so easily. They'll just get straight up bank money because in 30 years, 10, 20 years time, they'll get that money back anyway.
So there are actually institutions, right? Now this is from my experience in real estate. So I've been very actively looking for like an investment property. Either I'm going to live in it for a year, right, and I'm going to rent out half of it, or I'm going to buy a building and then just keep renting. But there are institutions, I don't even want to call them banks, that if my business plan is to go and buy this house and rent it out, or buy this house and flip it, there are people who literally sit down all day, every day, and just give money to those investors and say, here's what we're gonna do. I'll give you a $400,000 loan. It's technically not a mortgage, right? Because this is not a bank, right? You're gonna flip this house. If the house is worth $300,000, you're gonna put $100,000 into it. It's $500,000. We want $50,000 by the end of the first year, or you have to pay back your whole loan. So what do? You flip the house, you take your 50, they get their 50, and technically, you didn't spend a single dollar of your own money.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There are and those are people like me. I'm not ultra high net worth, right? I couldn't even say I have a high net worth compared to like more normal people. But there are institutions dedicated to giving people basically free money, but it's free because you don't have to put up collateral to get it, but you have to pay when you profit.
Yeah. Well, you always have to pay it back.
Yeah.
When you say free, it's really easy for these people to get money because they have a reputation.
Yeah.
They have a reputation where they can pay back relatively easily. Yeah. So they'll get cheap money.
Yeah.
Let's just say cheap money because they can pay back. They have the reputation to pay back relatively easily. That's all it is, and that's been going on forever.
But there's another thing that I learned recently, right? Is that somebody who, I mean, this can go for anyone who kind of lives ultra debt-free type of lifestyle, but especially with these higher net worth people, they don't have credit scores. Like it's not a thing. Like Elon Musk doesn't like buy a house and say, check my credit score.
Of course not.
Like people, and this goes for anyone. Like if I had no debt for 10 years at all, and I just kept building up a savings account, if I went to go buy a house, you would check my credit and I wouldn't have one.
Yeah, no.
I would just pay for it.
Dude, yeah,
so you get to the point where the credit score kind of only matters for people who like need to only loan a little bit of money.
That's the point of the credit score.
Crazy.
No, the point of the credit score is for people who aren't rich. That's the whole point.
Yes, that's crazy.
No, but that's the whole point. So like when you're really rich, you don't need the credit score because you can pay it back.
Yeah.
The whole point of the credit score is like, hey, we're losing a lot of money to people who can't. We don't know. The whole point of the credit score is reputation. When you're really rich, you already have the reputation because you have so much money.
Yeah.
You don't need the reputation anymore. Credit score is a way of automating and standardizing reputation.
So you got to get rich and a little famous, build up your own reputation, and then the bank's like, oh, I know this guy.
When you have $30 million in your bank account, you don't need fame.
No one cares.
People are like, oh, you got $30 million. They're just. It would be stupid not to work with them.
Yeah.
It would be stupid not to offer them something to work with them because they have so much cash that can long term be given to you. You got to create systems and products and services
and it's not
to
even
get them.